This is the KJ Singh Show with your host, KJ Singh. So in Upside Down World, you know it, I know it, my neighbour's dog knows it. Israel is certainly committing war crimes at the very least, and most probably committing a genocide. And I think they are committing a genocide. And in my future videos, I will conclusively, break it down and just give you the points as to why there's no doubt regarding a genocide is being committed. And this is irrespective of the International Criminal Court of Justice or International Court of Justice case where they have ruled that there's a plausible case for genocide happening. But unfortunately, the UK government, the US government, haven't quite yet acknowledged that war crimes are being committed by Israel. Or have they? Because a leaked recording featuring Alicia Kearns, who's a Conservative MP, but also the chair of the Foreign Affairs Select Committee, has admitted that there are legal MPs to the government that have confirmed that Israel is committing a breach of international law, and therefore, if the UK were to be complicit with this state, then it would be complicit with the war crimes being committed by Israel. It's a no-brainer. However, the UK government has yet to bring this to the attention of the public, in that Israel are committing war crimes now in breach of international humanitarian law, and furthermore, the UK has not discontinued the sale of arms to Israel. And so, therefore, it is complicit, it is aiding and abetting this state that is committing war crimes at the very least, and I think they're committing a genocide. So, this is a grave problem because it means that the UK government knows that it's supporting a state that is committing war crimes, but wants to continue on as business as usual, which seems to be the case. I mean, whilst they like to pander and like to virtue signal about the rules-based international order, which the establishment, which centrists and right-wingers alike like to say they conform to when it comes to, let's say, accusing Russia of breaching war crimes, which is understandably so, they seem to disregard that reality when it comes to the war crimes being committed by Israel. Now, obviously, this is not surprising. At the same time, it means that the UK in a future court may be facing trial. Just to give you some reference point, the first two arms exports to Israel are the US and Germany, and it's quite disgusting to see Germany go from one genocide to another genocide, but it seems that history seems to repeat itself, or at least it seems to rhyme. But the UK also does significantly export arms to Israel to the tune of 42 million in 2022. So this is quite grave because it means that our international law no longer means anything. It's all just a virtue signaling tool for those with power to flaunt it if it's necessary. But if it means, if it's a decision between protecting your own friends and allies or actually enforcing humanitarian law, which is basically ensuring that there is equality in the sphere of international politics, then obviously they'll pick their friends in the geopolitical interests of the most powerful nations on this planet, but in particular the US, which is not surprising, but at the same time, it's something quite encouraging to see the rise of China, because the more the US, is humbled, not in a militaristic point of view, but from a socio-economic point of view, from a world power stage, then the US can, let's say, walk back from supporting the war crimes of its own allies. And if China are aware, Brazil is aware, India is aware, Russia is aware that the US and the UK are supporting a state that is committing genocide, then clearly international law means nothing to the incumbent, the power that is number one currently. Then to the rest of the world, to the BRICS, it also doesn't matter. And so, what does it, so, and especially when, Israel's committing war crimes on a scale far greater than what Russia is doing, whilst Israel is not expanding itself in a colonial fashion that Russia is, or actually they are. Because, of course, it is 75 years of colonial expansion of Israel which has led us to this moment. So, actually, whilst I can say a thing or two about what Russia did or is doing right now, it's not nearly at the length, 75 years plus of its colonial expansion and the protracted suffering of the Palestinian people who are the brunt of this genocidal, this ethnic cleansing, this racial supremacist nation state of Israel. So we need to address this seriously, and in the future I'll address the ideological underpinnings of Israel and why it's such a ethnocentric state, and why it feels it has impunity to commit its atrocities. But it's shock that the US, UK, which are supposed to be the ones who were instrumental in the formation in the United Nations, whose this the international courts such as the Nuremberg trials were important in bringing war criminals to justice. Well, it appears that the powers that kind of enforced and facilitated that no longer are interested in facilitating it for their own friend Israel, which is currently their own satellite power in the Middle East. But yeah, so it is shocking, but at the same time, it's not a surprise, which is quite it's an oxymoron. At the same time, when we saw the onslaught upon October 7th, and when we saw the complete facilitation of the genocide by our Western powers, it was very clear that our establishment and the geopolitical allies that support it have no leg to stand on, morally speaking. And we saw this with the Iraq War. But at least we had the benefit of the doubt. And even to this day, Tony Blair says, "Oh, we weren't sure about the intelligence." But this is very, very much in our, on our phones. It's in clear daylight, and even the IDF records its own war crimes to the public. But it's with this impunity, with this sense of racial supremacy, that they continue on this. And this was already part of the course. This was going to be inevitable with the this colonial expansionist settler colonial state. It really wanted West Bank and Gaza from the onset. However, there were impediments, political impediments, which delayed that process. But now that they have a chance to do so, it seems like they're going to expand into these areas. And we also saw in West Bank the largest land seizure in the last 30 years. So that's something that it kind of furthers the point that it's not really a war of defense. It's not in response to Hamas. It is part of much larger colonial expansion and racist supremacy, domination, and the eventual ethnic cleansing of the land, which may mean that genocide is a means to that end. But anyways, I'll be doing more videos on this, more regularly, and I'm still working on the breakdown of the Norman Finkelstein debate, which I'm very happy to share with you when it's done. So please like, comment, and subscribe, and your viewership is very much appreciated. Thank you.